on. Hopefully we get a good, nice bit rate. I'm going to change this setting here. Hopefully... guys, I'm going to keep a watch on this bit rate. If we start dropping low, I should also record this. There we go. That'll do. Okay, today we're going to be talking Eurons. As some of you don't yet know, probably this week, Ned Hahn from Black Box Online... Oh, definitely actually this week, because we've already been... We can work with this here. The bit rate's dropping to 0 constantly. So we need an extender or a direct line. Very annoying. Okay. Ned Hahn from Black Box Online Radio and I are going to be doing a show on the East Area Rapist Original Night Stalker. And in preparation for that, and to gear up for that, we're going to be talking some EAR with you guys. I'm going to turn the top chat over to live chat, and then hopefully our bit rates don't just drop off. See, they're very shoddy. This is very terrible connection. It's not good, actually. Hopefully we can maintain some sort of stability of that. Okay. About to be entering the room is my wife, Reanna, and we're going to be talking East Area Rapist. Now, originally, I had asked her, do you want to write out some of the talking points? And she said, just wing it, which I always like the the genuinity of doing that. But without further ado, here she comes. Okay, you can come in now for your little introduction.
Hello.
Every momento. Okay, so the microphone. For you to talk for the microphone.
Okay.
I hear
Okay.
You. I hear you. I do.
Is it loud? You can hold it.
Okay.
For you.
Yeah. They
Okay.
can. I think they can hear you.
So,
Yeah, I can hear you.
who's the 17th victim?
The rape victim, or well, there's not that many murders. We might not actually know. A lot of these rape victims' names weren't released. And the other problem with that, with giving you a black and white answer for something like that, is that one of the problems we have in this case is trying to determine where these attacks start and where, how to really put them into a chronology that's realistic. Because for a long time it wasn't known that the East Area Rapist was also the Visalia ransacker, and it wasn't known until very recently, like probably 2016 or later, that he was also an offender called the Cordova Cat, the Cordova Meadows burglar.
And that was in Rancho Cordova.
Yeah, probably in about 1972 to 1974. And it kind of, some of these crime sprees are overlapping with each other. But as far as 17th victim, let's see. If we're talking EAR spree, we can pull that in from who? Let's see. Victim number 17, East Area Rapist.
What would you like to talk about?
I don't know. That's why I was just letting you wing it. Let's see your East Area Rapist. When you have to interview and then you have to Google your So, let's see if AI knows. Victim number 17, East Area Rapist. Let's see. Yeah, identities of most victims are not made public. Prosecutors provided summaries of the crimes. Let's see. So, this attack took place. Oh, here we go.
Phyllis Henneman.
There she is. Yeah, Phyllis Henneman told D'Angelo to rot in hell. Yeah. So, I guess there's your answer for that question.
You said it took place in January. Do you think he...
If it reconnects. If not, then we'll just... Come on. Okay.
So we're not live?
Now we are. It's ping, 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 ping like this. But I'll just upload the non-laggy version.
Hi, Ned.
What's up, Ned? So, there appears to be these...
If you're watching...
Yeah, he'll see it. There's these lulls in summer month activity with the EAR. And there was a lot of conjecture about like why that was. Was he going when people didn't know who he was? Or was he a student? Was he going back home during the summer months? These types of things. The answer might be something very simple and interesting. If you've ever worn a ski mask, it's extremely hot And you're wearing gloves, you're wearing this windbreaker to keep from whatever evidence left behind, fibers, fingerprints, things like that. So you've got gloves, a ski mask, and a windbreaker on. It's going to be extremely warm. And the EAR was known for unplugging forced air furnaces and trying to drop that temperature as far down as he could in the home during the attack. And I think,
in general, in summer.
I don't know. Is that true?
But I don't know.
That could be true. I'm not sure.
Yeah, because when I watch like forensic shows, it's always, or not always, but sometimes it's like January. So I didn't think about that. It'd be hot in a ski mask.
It is hot in a ski mask, yeah. I have one around here somewhere too. This homemade ski mask right here. Very, very warm thing. You put this on for like 10 seconds, you're like, oh my god, how is he running around like this, prowling? It's ridiculous. So, my turn.
We were talking about McNamara. What else?
That's another. Ned loves that route. What about Michelle McNamara? It's like, so Michelle McNamara was a true crime author. Michelle McNamara did not, do anything that resulted in the apprehension or the capturado or whatever of the East Area Rapist. But of course, her legacy was billed as such in the months and years following her death. So the only thing that I really am...
I have a question.
Yeah, go.
Sorry.
I know, I hate when McNamara hijacks the stream.
Where was you're on scene wearing a blue windbreaker?
I think he started wearing olive green for like the first 10 or 15 attacks. The newspapers reported that the East Area Rapist was frequently seen in green, and then after that he switched over to the blue windbreakers. So that would be somewhere...
Wouldn't that be like not smart, considering it's like visible?
Yeah, I guess a navy blue is the next logical choice for camouflage. I thought about that too. A place like Sacramento. Yeah, it could be. It's probably like you wouldn't switch to pink because then you definitely get seen. You wouldn't switch to red for the same reason. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe that looks suspicious, and he wanted to limit the number of sightings that have someone go, oh, I saw a guy in all black.
It was a different time back then, and they wore more colors.
It was the 70s, yeah. The 70s were very colorful era.
So they never found any hair of his?
Oh, they found... Yeah, there's all kinds of interesting fiber evidence in this case. There was... There's paint chip evidence, which was very interesting, and I think we've never really nailed down the source of these paint chips, but these paint chips were found, and I don't know which crimes. I think some of the murders where these things were found. Now, at this time, D'Angelo and his brother-in-law, Jim Huddle, were painting boats. They were doing a lot of like model boats. They were painting boats, and there was some speculation that the offender could have been in the construction industry originally before he had been identified. And this paint, it's a very distinct color of paint. Let's see if we can get East Area Rapist paint chip. There's also some claims that some of the holdback evidence is that fibers were being scattered over the backs of the murdered female victims in the original Night Stalker phase. So this says a connection was explored between paint chips found at East Area Rapist crime scenes and the possibility that he worked as a house painter. But what the heck? Oh, okay. But the suspect's identity was ultimately determined decades later through DNA evidence. Traces of blue paint were found in at least 3 consecutive East Area Rapist cases in Sacramento in 1977. In one of the later original Night Stalker homicides in Irvine, paint was also found on a tool left at the scene. I think that's the Withune crime scene. The discovery of the paint...
Why is that?
Why I think that, or why the paint chips?
Why was there paint on the tool in Irvine?
We never really found out, but I suspect that it's something like this. And there's a photo of this. Joseph D'Angelo. There's a whole thing of like every photo of him, and one of them you can see him. He has a painting cloak on, and then some other stuff with him and Jim Huddle painting boats. But there's not much.
Or maybe he did it to plant false evidence.
Yeah, it's possible. There's a lot of this red herring stuff that we're seeing. But you can see a lot of these photos of him on the American River. This paint chip stuff, let's see if they have...
Why did he wear that in court? Because of COVID?
Yeah, COVID. Investigators could not determine how the paint arrived at the scene or the exact circumstances.
Vincent.
And our bit rates are very choppy.
So, how long were... So, him and Bonnie were engaged for how long?
I don't know. I'm not even sure. I think that engagement's around 1968 or 1969. I believe he married Sharon Huddle in 1973. So I think 1971.
So he was married to Sharon for how long?
For years. Pretty much, they actually only got...
They don't mention her.
She's mentioned a lot. Some people think that she knew who he was because she was a divorce lawyer. Yet they didn't actually get divorced until like 2020. So this entire time they were, estranged, but not. Yeah. And in I think this whole thing with Bonnie happens in 71, where he shows up at her house, points a gun at her, and says, "We're going to Reno to get married." And then the dad talks him down, and that, of course, is I think it's 71 or something like that.
Sorry, this isn't funny. I'm just laughing because it's the first time I'm on here interviewing him. And I don't know.
You can't say that. I'm going to interview you for New Cooks. You want to pre-write your questions? No, I'm going to wing it. But it's good. That's better because it's more exploratory. It's not as.
What do you find the strangest thing about the whole thing?
Whoa. The hairstyles. I want to know why so consistently in these composite sketches in these witness descriptions are we getting these descriptions of suspicious prowlers and even the offender himself at Ripon Court. It could be wigs, yeah. Wigs is a really good explanation. I know that D'Angelo's hair was never that long, and wigs is an incredible way to throw off composites. In fact, we did a composite sketch today of Matt Healy, where I didn't know who I was drawing, and she described this pop star to me, and I was doing the composite sketch of him and stuff.
He's the singer from 1975.
Okay. And we got to the end of the sketch, and we go, okay, this is, call it, okay, here's a sketch. And the hair was so different from his actual hair. But that one thing of that hair, yeah, that's okay. And it's a composite. It's meant to not be, perfect. But the hair threw the whole thing off, because now you look at the composite, you go, that doesn't look like him. But imagine if he had that curly, wavy, crazy hair that Healy has, and the resemblance would be much closer. And so, as a police officer and as someone who's trained in forensics and criminology and criminal investigations and things like that, D'Angelo probably knew that if he slapped a wig on, he would thwart all those witness descriptions. And so Ripon Court is our best evidence for something going wrong with the hairstyle, because in Ripon Court we have these two really good these source of these composite sketches, and specifically the Ripon Prowler sketch. And in both of them, he's got this shoulder-length, dirty blonde hair. Now, I'm almost positive. I would say, I hate to give percentages like a BBOR type measurement here, but I'm at like 98% sure or more that D'Angelo is in fact the Ripon Court shooter, and yet that long hair simply was never present on him. And the victim in that case, Rod Miller, had a very good look at this offender because they were close to each other numerous times during this pursuit that happened. And the hair was still described like that. So it's either a wig or there's something going on. I mean, really, your only two options are just a wig, three options. Wig, extremely faulty witness recollection, or a different offender. And all the other circumstances line up to indicate to us that, in fact, D'Angelo was the Ripon Court shooter. So you're really left with extremely faulty witness recollections or wigs. And I do think Rod Miller is a fairly credible observer. So wigs are, we can kind of whittle things down to that making the most sense there. I
also feel that that's part of the reason why the other composite we did was so accurate because
No hair.
he didn't have hair,
Yeah.
and also because his features stuck out to me so much that he came to my mind for the composite.
Yeah.
The actor from Barry.
Yeah, I wonder if we have.
He plays the villain.
That's a really good composite. That's like a mind-blowingly close composite. The guy would totally be identified on that one. And our Matt Healy one is thrown off because of that hair. So it really goes to show the power of wearing a wig at a violent offense. And part of the reason why I've been so loud and vocal about that in the Zodiac community is that all of those.
There will ever be a woman who is as bad or as Euron's?
No, probably not.
Why?
It takes a testosterone fueled violent masculine psychopathic lunatic that generally we only see.
She couldn't do the blows.
Yeah, some of those murders were conducted with only a single blow to the head, so that goes to show the incredible amount of force that was put into, like, for example, Lyman Smith was killed with a single blow to the head. I think that Sherry Domingo,
which is what makes him one of the scariest murderers, is like the bludgeoning.
Yeah, and just the sheer ability of getting away with it is crazy.
Coming in whenever, unexpectedly.
And seemingly unstoppable for so many years. It was only that DNA science, which is space age.
He always lie? He lied to them?
Yeah, I would generally tell them, I only want money. All I need is food and money in my van down by the American River at my camp. And I'm not going to hurt you. I just want your money.
I mean, what's the significance of that?
The van thing?
The American River?
Yeah, I think he was just spreading fake bullshit to try to... Because he knows that everything he says to those rape victims is going to get back. What?
The American River? Where is that?
It's Sacramento.
Oh.
That's why I'm always talking to Case and I go, yeah, you're dreaming about the American River, Case.
Yeah, I know. What do you find to be the hardest thing that he did, like, from his perspective, like, to not get caught? Like, cleaning up? Did he clean up the crime scene?
To an extent, a lot of the bludgeoning victims, he would cover them with bedspreads. Like, when he killed...
He was preventative?
Yeah, there was... When he killed Charlene and Lyman Smith, he didn't cover them first, and blood was spattered all over this crime scene, and presumably on himself too. And then after the Ventura murder of Charlene and Lyman Smith, he starts covering the victims with a bedspread and then bludgeoning them so as not to get blood on himself. He's leaving no fingerprints. There are no confirmed fingerprints from the East Area Rapist investigation, he had to be completely silent about it. He pulled the wool over everyone's eyes, never talked clearly about it because generally these guys get caught from talking, and nobody in his life knew what he was up to. So
it became like a ritual where it's tactical and like...
Yeah, it's a military operation.
He can't learn from a book to do it, and like he learns from his mistakes, and he becomes obsessed with like the ritual, like a drug addict with drugs. Like,
yeah, it's a military operation. And that was when we were in Irvine, and we saw the Withune crime scene. That was like the fucking most glaring thing. Like, I highly encourage anyone out there who sees this stream, who sees this video, go to Irvine, California if you can, and check out the Withune crime scene, because it is a military operation with an area of there's a whole thing that happened, and you can see like how I believe that he discovered that neighborhood by prowling Jeffrey Road and Bryan Avenue, and there's some canals and different things there, or not canals, but walking paths and things. There is actually a canal across the street, but you can see how these areas were discovered and then how they were infiltrated from the complete opposite direction on the night of the crime. And he was he was a veteran of the U.S. Navy, so you can see that training being applied in these murders.
Training from his murders or training from the military?
I think the military. I think that there was military-style tactician work being done in these crimes.
I feel like some of the people who knew him should have known earlier.
Yeah, it's a bit weird. He must have been...
they don't really communicate their feelings like so much, so that they didn't know. Like if it was a woman, she would like her emotions would maybe be more visible.
That's why there's some people think Sharon knew. I would hope not, because you'd imagine that if someone knew that their husband was the fucking original Night Stalker, they would tell somebody.
Thought he was seeing other women, or
yeah, it's more likely. Generally, if your husband's out overnight or something like that, and he's prowling or whatever, your mind doesn't go to, oh, he's the East Area rapist. It goes to, he's having an affair or he's doing whatever. So.
But his anger shows, like when we watched that documentary, Unmasking a Killer, right?
Yeah,
or was
cool.
it that one or something else that we saw? I think it was a different one where it said that with Bonnie, like she could sense the fear.
Oh yeah, where was that? Where did we see that? Was that in Unmasking a Killer?
Motorcycle, like he liked to see the fear in her.
Where did we see that?
I forget.
Must have been on Where the fuck was that? No, it couldn't have been on Unmasking. They made. Wow. What the heck were we watching? Because that is a really good point. I don't know what that was.
And he's Italian.
Yeah, Italians are always bludgeoning people, so.
What do you think is the stupidest thing that he did?
Oh, shit.
From his perspective.
Oh, ejaculating on everything.
True.
There was a copious amounts of seminal fluid found at the Cruz crime scene, I believe in the Domingo Sanchez murder too, and really that's what got him caught. The really creepy part about all this is that if he had only had the foresight to wear a condom, he would never have been caught.
What else do you think?
That's a trip because he did almost everything right. Probably shooting at McGowan, because that's the one way that we might have caught him without the DNA science is had McGowan checked those Exeter police yearbooks and identified him that way, or if someone had the fortune of thinking along the lines of, okay, well, let's look at, like, 122675 claims that they did this, but I don't believe them at all. Or we think he's an Exeter cop. Okay, well, why hasn't he been caught? There's 7 cops in Exeter, and one of them's the burglary task force guy, and it's ridiculous. So I don't believe Tony Reed when he says that. I think he's blatantly lying. But that's one way that we might have caught him. We could have looked at Exeter police officers who moved to Sacramento or near it, up in Auburn where he lived, and then had connections down south, and we could have followed his... Yeah.
What kind of car did he have?
We don't know.
Really?
Yeah, there was there was a van site either heard or noticed at some of these East Area rapes. There was a green Chevy Vega that was linked to, I think, some Cordova cat activity, and we don't know, I think, because there were a lot of different cars that he used, and he also was careful about never having his vehicle seen in the areas that he was prowling. I think he was parking,
Yeah.
The way we talk about the Quester Canal over there in Fountain Valley, you could park in one neighborhood and walk across to the next. And
it was so spooky seeing the morning cloak butterfly.
Yeah. The one thing,
the Withun crime scene.
Yeah, and
those really creepy.
I've been to 3 Eron's crime scenes, and at each one of those crime scenes, there is a very, very powerful sense of tranquility that comes over you in the vicinity of the house, especially at Withun's and at the Harringtons too. And the Harringtons is a gated community, so I jumped the fence to get there. And while I was walking towards what's the fucking Cockleshell Drive, it's just dead silent, and you can see the whole ocean, and you can't hear anything. You drop a pin, it's like cling, you could hear that. It's very, very silent there, and I think that the energy of these victims almost brings like this like peace to, especially at Withun. You go next to Withun's house, and it's just quiet. Even you could see the gardeners on the street go brrrr, doing all this crazy stuff, and you could still feel just like this peaceful glow. These vehicles, in some cases, license plates were recorded by observant neighbors who had believed they'd seen a suspicious vehicle, and they traced these license plates back, and they found that these plates, according to John Quasar, they found that these plates could be tracked to vehicles that had been impounded or wrecked months before. So he was probably, as a police officer, lifting plates from accident scenes or from vehicles that were being destroyed, and then using those plates in his crimes, and we couldn't figure it out. That's why Quester thought he was an auto wrecker for a while, because he appeared to have access to license plates from wrecked vehicles.
What do you think? Do we know anything that, like, he says, like a catchphrase, or like, besides the audio, the phone calls and all that?
Yeah, there's
Like
claims.
Hot buddies or anything? Like,
Junk food, Joey. There's claims that he kind of adhered to a script, and usually it was like, "Shut up or I'll kill you. All I want is your money." He's kind of said the same things over and over again. Let's see if we have some quotes here. Let's see what we have here. No, this is more of this nonsense. Look at this. Here she is. Oh my goodness. It's not an Eron's quote. It's a fucking...
wait, go up.
Okay.
This is dialogue.
Where's it? The dialogue. Okay. Yeah. Oh, this is great. So we have, "If you make one move or sound, I'll stick this knife in you. I want to fuck you."
You whispered Heather's name?
Yeah, he would go into the other room, raid their purses, get their IDs, and then learn their name. Either he knew it from before, or he would find out.
That's so creepy to me.
And he would go
because
and
it's, like,
say to their...
personal. It's like she would think it's someone she knows or something.
Yeah, on purpose, I bet. Yeah. Yeah, he would go and get their driver's license, learn their name, and then come back in and say that.
I've dreamt about you. What the...
Yeah, very creepy. "Do you have any money?" She tried responding. "Shut up," he says. Wow, that's so creepy.
"My car is just a block away."
Yeah.
See? So he parked like not that.
But that's probably not true. That's probably a crime where he didn't have his vehicle. I think it's Act 15. Who is that? Is that... I don't think it's Carson Sandler. Who is that? Attack... What the fuck? What the fuck? Oh my god. So we have a lot of these, and they're very similar things.
Blade up and down her back.
Oh yeah, he fell dead silent in the house. He made no noise for like a half hour or more. He was known for being able to stand perfectly still in one location. And then he would go dead silent, so they'd think he left, and then right as they would start to like try to take the blindfold off or do something, in this particular case, he then put the blade of the knife on her back and started going like this, so she'd know he was still there. Very creepy guy. And that's a tactical aid, because if they don't know when he's left the house, then it makes it hard, then there's a delay for half hour long before they call the police. So for an hour they're laying there bound, and they don't know that he's no longer in the house, and by this time he's miles away.
What did he use? Shoelaces?
Yeah, shoelaces, twine, macrame cord, sometimes electrical cables, like from a hairdryer. I believe he bound one of the male victims with like a lamp cord, and sometimes multiple bindings. He would start with.
Use the stove to cook food, or
yes, yeah.
Did he eat the turkey raw?
The turkey was already cooked. That was at the.
I mean, not raw, but cold.
Yeah, I think that. Well, maybe. I don't know if he heated those turkey leftovers up. Those were found in Goleta at the. At the Offerman Manning crime scene. There was turkey. There was a leftover Christmas dinner that was eaten and then discarded on the back patio.
How many of the couples did he kill? Both, or just the man?
Generally, when he began killing couples, we would kill everybody in the house, leave no witnesses.
So he always knew the people. He didn't always know them, right?
Yeah, I don't think he had a personal connection to him in a way that could be like traced.
Like he didn't know. Oh, there's a couple here.
By the time he goes into the house to attack, he probably knows who's in that house.
And what do you find interesting?
The way that I got into this case is there was this crazy lady, Lisa Cesari, that I'd found because of my work on Zodiac. And she was shouting from every rooftop that she could find that the East Area Rapist was also the Zodiac Killer. And I blew it off, and I was like, okay, and I didn't dive this case at all because I considered it very dark, and there's a lot of sexual elements and things like that. That took some desensitization in true crime to eventually go, okay, I'm going to dive this case. And what set it off was that Cesare said, that D'Angelo is the Zodiac, and I was like, okay, well, that's not true, whatever. And she placed him at the Naval Shipyard or something in Vallejo in 1968, like right before the Lake Herman Road crime. And I went, oh my God, she's put D'Angelo in Vallejo right before Lake Herman Road. And so I said, could it be? Is he actually the Zodiac? And then I started researching. Now, of course, I don't think that he's the Zodiac, but that initiated that dive into that case. And then it's just,
I didn't know that.
yeah, it's like a really expansive true. It's definitely the most like complicated true crime case I've ever. This is a very, very organized offender, and I actually directly credit Lisa Cesare with me getting involved in the EAR, but he'd already been identified by that time, so I was never part of this wave of people trying to figure out who he was before he was caught.
For a microphone
sorry.
for you.
No,
For a microphone for you.
Thank you for having me on the show.
we have to do composite sketches.
We need to get another chair.
Yeah, I know. This one we found
I'm sitting
outside.
on a document box.
People are going, what's in that locked cabinet? That's all my ski masks.
Yeah. You don't want to know what's in there.
Open it and D'Angelo's head rolls out. Got him!
Lots and lots of shoelaces.
Oh, maybe no good.
Send to Umo.
Momento.
Maybe momento.
We have to send this to Umo now.
Maybe momento.
Caminando.
That's a little a call out, a little shout out for our friend Umo.
Fresco como una lechuga.
Muy fresco, similar de lechuga. Maybe momento.
Now we're sending this to him for sure. It's too much.
So. Yeah.
Okay.
Hi, Ned.
What's up, Ned? So this will give you guys get you guys in the zone a little bit. If you see this before you see Ned and I's.
When we get another chair, I'll go longer.
I do want to show you guys. I'm not going to.
I'm excited to hear you.
I know. I'm excited for this stream
I'm
too.
excited for BBOR.
BBOR, Black Box Online Radio, coming to you from West Virginia at heart and from around the globe. And if you're watching this, subscribe to Black Box Online motherfucking Radio. Here's a little snippet for you guys of some of the work that Ned and I are going to be doing this week. We also have a supplemental report called The Modus Operandi of the East Area Rapist. You can see here, Neurons with Ned. We will do... I'm just going to give them a... Yes.
And thank you guys for watching channel.
What's up, channel?
Quentin Broom.
So this is our supplemental report that we're going to be going into.
We don't know where Archangel Michael went, but
yeah, he's in Zodiac Anonymous now. So this is we're going to have
who else watches? Who else is our friend?
Kid Freshie. Even Murder Inc. comes around. I'm amazed at how.
Yeah.
I'm amazed at how frequently Murder Inc. is on my show because I've previously disputed a lot of what he said, but we get along really well, and he's actually a really reasonable guy. But I don't think that he's... So we're going to have this report, and then we're going to have our main...
Who's that guy? You guys
reports
were
here.
saying who is older, who you're making...
Oh, Sean! And I have him with the pyramids and an oxygen tank. Ridiculous. All right, everybody.
Bring back the puppets.
They're here. We have them somewhere. I think they're over on this center.
Release the holdback, Paul Hole.
Yeah, declassify the holdback. Paul Holes, man. You know what? Paul Holes, just don't say anything anymore, okay, Paul? They'll be all right. You get a lot of credit when you capture the East Area Rapist, but at the same time...
I'll do a lot more studying.
Yeah, okay. Or just pre-write your questions even, too.
Right. Yes.
Ooh, spinning ball. Okay, everybody.
And unban and subscribe.
I can't be unbanned. Once you're banned on YouTube, that's it. So,
Subscribe.
live from a spinning ball,
Yay.
the most banned prowler online. Goodbye. That's a good show.